Alright, so we have Thunderbolt here, which increases our damage inflicted by 100%, but our dodge efficiency and parry efficiency is reduced by 50%. We have 7 hours, 59 minutes left. That is in-game time rather than the time that we have outside of the game, so we don't really have nearly 8 hours to use that. We also have our toxicity here going up by 24. If you get too high with toxicity, you can have some really adverse effects, including and up to death. So you got to be careful with that. Very, very important stuff to manage. All right, are we allowed to go in now, Leo? Come on. I thought you were the novice here, and I was the trained swordsman.
I've heard all of Dandelion's ballads about you. Lambert tells me I'll never be as fast as a real Witcher, but I managed to hit him during training today.
You beat Lambert?
Yeah, we were fencing on the floor pegs when that strange storm came. Lambert looked away, I did a pirouette, hit him right in the gut. He didn't fall, and then he beat me.
You'll make a good swordsman yet.
I know. Every time Lambert beats me, he says I have potential.
You do. So now we have some information on Leo here. I believe there is a journal that can be opened here. I'm going to go ahead and put Swallow into our quick slot since we're forced to use Thunderbolt, and there's nothing that we can really do about that. We should be able to go to the journal here and take a look at some things. I'll quickly read through these because we get a little bit of background on the characters here. Leo is the youngest of Kaer Morhen's residents. He's not a full Witcher, though he has completed his training. He was not subjected to mutation. Leo comes across as a hot-headed whelp, but is also kind-hearted and good. Since he is not subjected to the mutations, Leo actually can't use the potions because they are very, very toxic to normal humans. It appears that Leo is somewhat fascinated with me. He has heard the ballads about the White Wolf, and now holds me in high regard. So he was talking about Dandelion, who is a bard that likes to follow Geralt around and write songs about him. Technically, in the original books, his name is Yasker. But basically, they wanted to have kind of a frilly, flowery name when it got translated into English, so it became Dandelion. Technically, Yasker is another flower name. I forget exactly what it is, but the problem was when it was translated to English that it crossed over with one of the sorceresses, because they also had a flower name that was pretty much identical, so they had to change it. Anyways, let's go to Eskel here. The calm and reasonable Witcher from Kaer Morhen is my peer. Wonder how he got that disfiguring scar. Lambert. The young Witcher I met at Kaer Morhen sure has a biting tongue. He's rude, especially to Triss Marigold, who he addresses by her last name. The Professor. One of the leaders of the Salamandra attack on Kaer Morhen was a man called the Professor. You mean was? How about is? We're still in the middle of the attack here, Geralt. Who seems to be a cunning assassin. The other leader was a mage. Vesemir. Vesemir is the oldest and most experienced Witcher, possibly older than Kaer Morhen itself. He spends each winter in the fortress and sets off on the road when spring comes, just like all the others. Despite his age, Vesemir is robust and lively. Many youngsters could envy him in his health. An excellent fencer, he was the only one who taught me swordmanship. So we have the formulas for the potions that we've picked up, which we'll get to later on, but these are basically the items that we're going to need to create potions, because there's some alchemy in this game. It's a pretty neat system. Anyways, effects of Thunderbolt greatly increases the damage inflicted on opponents, but makes dodging and parrying impossible. It said 50%, not impossible. Whatever. Preparation. The potion is made by mixing ingredients providing 1 measure of vitriol, hydrogenum, which I believe is vaguely similar to the Latin name for mercury, but it's technically probably something different. It might be vaguely like that, especially because it's got kind of a silvery tint in this game, so I have a feeling they were kind of going for mercury with it. And rebus. And 2 measures of vermilion. Strong, top-quality alcohol must be used as a base. So basically you have to use different levels of alcohol in order to be able to craft these potions, just because the alcohol actually gives you a certain number of slots that you can use with it. Duration of effect is long-lasting, and it has a high toxicity level. Witchers take this potion before fighting strong, heavily armored opponents. Imbibing Thunderbolt causes Witchers to enter into a battle trance. While in this state, Witchers attack more efficiently and cause greater damage, while at the same time neglecting their own defense and becoming an easier target. Also, their faces turn kind of white and you get some kind of veiny look going on. I'm not sure that the game actually shows that. I can't remember if it did or not, but that is something that technically is supposed to happen with that. Swallow accelerates the regeneration of vitality. Preparation. The potion is made from ingredients providing 1 measure each of vitriol and ether, and 2 measures of rebus. A strong, high-quality alcohol must be used as a base. Duration of the effects are brief. The toxicity is medium. There is no bird more beautiful than the swallow, the harbinger of spring. Even the dark mages who developed the formula for Witcher's potions appreciated the charm of this bird, lending its name to the potion that accelerates regeneration of a mutated organism. And we can go take a look at ingredients. I'll check these out later. Let's see here. Glossary for mages. Only rare individuals have the potential to become mages, and many of those with this potential are doomed to madness, unless the individual in question, also known as a source, learns to control their power quickly. He or she may end up a half-insane, slobbering oracle. That is why schools of sorcery were created, where talented children study for many years, acquiring knowledge and mastering magical skills. Because of their powers, mages age more slowly than ordinary people. They can extract magical energy from the 4 elements, transport themselves long distances, and heal, as well as kill, in the blink of an eye. They have extensive scientific and political knowledge. In the latter respect, many mages are the equals of rulers. What they don't mention here is that mages are actually used by a lot of the rulers as kind of advisors, and they tend to be sent off to political courts so that they can advise various kings and queens throughout the lands. I believe the mage school that the female sorcerers go to is Aretusa. I don't remember if male sorcerers are allowed to go there. So we've got a whole bunch of tutorials here, which we've pretty much read because they came up in front of us as we were playing games. We will read about the location Kaer Morhen here. Kaer Morhen is an inaccessible mountain stronghold. It doesn't look that inaccessible with all these bandits around, which has been the headquarters of the Witchers Guild for centuries. The name comes from the language of the elves. The original Ger Amurhim translates into Old Sea Fortress. The castle's time of greatness has passed. The battlements and moat have deteriorated, and a cold wind blows through the spacious halls. Currently, only a handful of Witchers live here, but once many young boys underwent gruesome training along the infamous Gauntlet near Kaer Morhen. There's actually a very important character that gets to go through the Gauntlet in the books. However, I don't believe she makes any appearance in this game. I think she doesn't make an appearance until probably the 3rd game, Those of you who have played the third game probably know the girl that I am talking about. I'll leave that alone because, you know, someday we might actually get to that third game, and spoilers, there are definitely a lot of things. We don't have any information on monsters yet. Ingredients I'll come back to at some point. There's just a lot of them. Actually, I don't remember if the ingredients actually have anything. They do. So I'll read ether or aether at the very least. Ether, indicated in purple, is a basic alchemical substance. It is found in many ingredients, including herbs, minerals, and monster parts. We'll come back to this. There are a lot of ingredients, and we're going to get tons and tons and tons of things as we go on. All right. Have a bit of a look around, see if we can find anything besides Leo over here. In OTS mode, double tap a directional key to dodge enemies. I don't really use dodge very often. Never really came about as something that is all that necessary. And then again, I remember the first time that I actually played this game, I very specifically kind of powered myself up by constantly using a fireplace to respawn monsters until I had a significant amount of experience. So maybe if I'm not doing that, it's going to be a much more difficult game. We'll see how it goes. I saw some chicken over here somewhere. Ah, it's in the next room. Alright. Got a little bit of a mural here with what looks like a guy in armor on a horse battling something. Not entirely sure what it is. Something that looks vaguely monstrous. It's kind of got snake-like teeth. It could be kind of a dragon. Could be a wyvern. Could be any sort of thing. I wouldn't imagine that it would be a dragon because Witchers really don't go after dragons. They go after different kinds of things like wyverns and folktales. There are some really glitchy parts in this game that I'm starting to vaguely remember, and I'm like, man, it's going to be fun getting to those. The group style is the most effective style against groups of weaker opponents. Switch to this style by left-clicking on the griffin icon or by pressing C. I presume we're about to fight a whole bunch of enemies? Yeah, we sure are. We got some remains here. Oh, I believe I may have chopped this guy's head off. Hey, we get a few orens here. It's Tamarian currency. And another chicken sandwich. We'll take all that. We got a Cadwinian Stout, which is a dark beer from Cadwin. The alcohol-like beers don't really do anything more than get you drunk. We'll take it, but it's not going to be something we can use in Alchemy. There are some reasons to have alcohol, but at this point in time, probably not going to be all that necessary. Getting a lot of orens here. Not like a huge amount or anything. Ah, flint. This is a common item that is used to light fire. It's a single use only. So anywhere that there is a fire that is unlit and you want to camp out at it, you're going to need some flint. Of course, it's early on in the game and we haven't quite gotten there yet, but we'll eventually do that.
These stairs lead to the lab.
Follow me.
Man, they just pulled us down into the Witcher's laboratory without a second word there.
The energy you annexed from the Circle of Elements is enough to stop the Witchers?
You trembled, yet you complained Savola would have them all, leaving none for you. Did the sight of a single Witcher, White Wolf himself, instill fear?
The aforementioned, considered dead I might add, is a known killer. I'll gladly challenge him.
Leo, stand back. Come on, Professor.
Time is essential. I wield the power of the Circle of Elements. They are no threat. Back to work. I want the mutagens ready for teleportation in 15 minutes. Our witches shan't trouble us.
We're cut off. The stairs are blocked.
The magic barrier looks solid. We need Triss.
They're robbing us. Geralt, clear the passage upstairs. Use a sign.
A sign?
The Ard. I can't do it since I broke my fingers training along the gauntlet. Cast the Ard at the debris.
I don't remember the signs.
Let's go to the Circle of Elements, a source of the power. You need to try and learn the Ard.
All right.
So apparently he is capable of using magical signs, even though he hasn't technically gone through the mutations. I'm not sure if that's very true to form, but unfortunately we can't really go in here. We've got the unknown mage, which everyone knows that mages wear random leather armor on their heads and have a whole bunch of piercings across their face. That's very important for a mage. So we need to get back to the ground floor, but they collapsed it, and we need to get Triss down here so we can actually do something. Man, Batman would be right at home down in this place. Super dark. Left-click on the elemental stone to learn a sign. Look for other elemental circles later in the game to learn new powers. Alright, let's learn from the Circle of Whispering Stones.
Success?
We'll see in a minute.
I knew it would work.
Let's get back before Lambert kills the Frightener himself.
Alright. Now we have the Ard Sign, which is a telekinetic force that's useful for clearing obstructed pathways or for knocking back opponents. Right-click on the target to cast the sign. Tip: knocked down or stunned enemies are easy to kill with a single strike. I believe you can hit it a second time to get something from it too. Yep. So now we also have the Blessing of Air for the next hour and 40 minutes, which increases the Ard Sign's intensity by 50%. They don't really mention that when you're standing right here, but it's definitely worth doing. Ah, there's a crate over here. Ah, we have a whetstone. It increases the damage inflicted by 10%. I remember in this game not really using a lot of the stones very often, so I'm gonna toss this on here and just kind of use it. Aw, did it just go away immediately? Well, that blows. I saw it come up and then vanish immediately. Oh well, I tried to make use of it. I will try to make use of a lot of the items in this game to give us a bit of an edge, so that rather than grinding to level up, we can just kind of move forward and face the difficulty as it comes. Ah, another crate. Some more flint. Very nice, very nice. Fortunately, we can't go through here, but we can get rid of this.